Hey, everybody, and welcome to, you know what? I don't know. I think it's 58, but I started this. We just had a lot of technical difficulties. Our recording bot's not working. It's been a night. So I'm going to say 58, and if it's wrong, I'll fix that next time. But anyway, I'm Wolfkins, and I've got Solos here with me, man. How are you doing?
Welcome to an episode probably more unprofessional than our first episode.
Well, your dog did start barking the second we hit record.
I know. I know. It's the nature of the beast, I guess.
Man, this episode reflects the week that I think we've both had.
I'm okay at best.
Oh, well, I've got a trivia question for you this week that I don't think is going to be too bad.
I'm glad it's your turn because I would not have been prepared.
Okay, well, I got it. Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
In Final Fantasy VII, what is the name of Nanaki's father?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Come
I don't remember at all. I don't remember anything about that part of the game, except for. See, I can't even remember the old. I'm so tired. I can't even remember the old guys.
One of the best. You can't remember Bugenhagen's name?
Now I can. I was wanting to say Noggenfogger, and that's from WoW. I'm just so tired. Yeah, into a skeleton. Yeah, I don't know. I remember the music. It's really good. What's his name?
It's Seto.
I knew that.
Seto.
Yeah. I knew that.
Anyway, I thought that was a fair but not super easy question.
It wasn't
that's
easy.
Why I went with it.
I haven't gotten one right in a long time.
I'm going to make them easier and easier until you get it. And eventually I'm just going to be like, what's the black mage from Final Fantasy IX?
Oh, man. Which one?
Yeah, well, okay. That was the joke I was getting ready to make. But anyway, how have you been with games? Because otherwise I know that the answer is just going to depress people.
No, I've not. I'm in a weird headspace as about a week now. So I mean, it's not necessarily sad because it's not for a bad reason, but I'm just, it's weird. I don't know.
Hey, you're getting a lot of walks out of it, you said.
That's true. I've only been playing Legends Arceus. I've not been I've not been playing any. Final February starts with this night, and Final Fantasy VIII will start tomorrow.
Yep,
that'll
we're
be
kicking
gaming.
it off tonight. So if you're watching this live, this is the first official stream of Solos' Final February.
It will not be daily this year like it was last year. I was working virtually last year. Do not have the time for that.
That's okay. You're still going to stream it. I will say, I have been managing to play some Final Fantasy, but that Pokemon Legends is taking up a lot of time.
It's a fun game.
I really like it, but it's also it's the same kind of game that drives me nuts because I keep getting distracted and I'll realize I'll play for like an hour and a half and I've done nothing.
My least favorite thing about it is that the game's story is interesting, but good lord, sometimes especially the intros just hits you with dialogue after dialogue, and it's like, come on,
just
let
read.
me.
That's the same thing you
I'm
say
reading
about Final
it.
Fantasy 14.
I'm reading it, but God, the story's not interesting enough to mansplain it that much. Like, I get it. Just shut up. Stop stopping me every few steps. There's been times I go to explore literally just because I don't want to read more dialogue. Because
I'm starting to see a trend.
So,
is that the same reason you haven't gotten back into Endwalker?
Yeah, exactly. I played it the other night, and I was like,
I cannot believe
can't stand it.
This is
it.
February 2022, and you have not hardly touched Endwalker. It blows my mind. It is the best expansion yet.
I can't believe it's February 2022. And there are still games that aren't voice acting everything. Controversial opinion. Controversial opinion.
25 and complain this much about having to read a little bit.
It's so boring. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
It's a personal thing.
It's
boring. A personal thing. But God, reading mountains of dialogue instead of playing, I may as well read a book. If I want to do that, I'm going to read a book.
Books are great.
Good for fine, but so I should read a book. God. If I'm going to read that much, I'll read a book.
But you can't. It's not the same.
Ugh.
God, you just play Endwalker. Good lord,
I
it's
will
been
make
long enough.
myself eventually, but
It's
I
been
cannot
long enough.
stand reading the
Well,
dialogue.
luckily you're not about to start a PS1 era Final Fantasy where you have to
No,
read
I'm literally
everything.
why I've not started it yet. I've changed so much, I can't stand it anymore.
Oh my god. I actually, you know what? I've gotten to the point somewhat where I especially on Switch games, I like when they're not voice acted because if I take it to bed, I don't have to turn the volume
You can't
off.
see, but I'm rolling my eyes so
Well,
hard
no,
right
I mean,
now.
if it's something I don't have to worry about voice acting, and that's kind of actually what I like about Pokemon because I don't have to have the music on. I don't have to have it turned
I
up.
don't know why you can't just have them talk and read the exact same thing as have them speak and then hit A in the movie. Gosh.
You have to pay voice actors. It's more expensive.
Yeah, but Pokemon's the most profitable franchise in the world.
Yeah, they do that by cutting corners.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not here to talk about Pokemon.
Cutting
What
that
are you
corner.
doing? We're here to kick off your final February, and it's already off to a great start because A, we're having technical difficulties on this podcast. B, we're both a little out of it. C, we've already started by talking about Pokemon, and then D, you're setting yourself up to really not enjoy the game that you've picked. So I don't know what to tell you.
Haven't I been doing that for the past 10 years though?
Yeah, why do you do this? Why are we still talking about Final Fantasy? Are you really a fan?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, the reading thing doesn't bother me as much as I'm letting it on. It bothers me in newer games though, because I feel like there's just no excuse anymore.
Sure.
I mean,
just told you
I
the
don't.
excuse. It's cheaper.
Yeah, but you know, and then I played Elder
All
Scrolls
good.
for a little bit, and it's like every quest is voice acted, and I'm thinking, why is like why not other games?
Let's play Endwalker. It's great.
I mean,
it doesn't matter if you have to read it. The story is
will play it.
amazing.
But God, oh my!
Especially if you like Xenos. There's some cool Xenos stuff in there, and I know you like Xenos. I feel like everyone likes Xenos.
Yeah, I love Xenos. I love 14, but
you know, I am actually on a little bit of a 14 break because once I beat Endwalker, there were other games coming out that I wanted to play, and I'm not burnt out or anything. I just decided to take a little bit of time away from it because I went so hard at it, and that's all I was playing. So I've done a little bit. I didn't even finish the delayed Halloween event, but that was mainly because the rewards they gave for that were not interesting to me at all. There were things that I would have loved to put in my house that I don't have, but the main reward was like a clown costume, and I was like, I'm never gonna wear that. But as of today, they are starting their Valentine's event, but I think it's like Valention's event or something. And I believe you get some chocobo barding, and that stuff I do use. So I'm gonna be popping back in there in the next week or so, and at least doing that. And I've also, you're gonna roll your eyes at this too. I've been missing my gold saucer lately, so I might be doing back.
Hey, I don't roll my eyes at gold saucer. At least you're consecutively playing a game when you're in there.
Good lord. You're still playing. I'm not. That's not.
You're not playing a game. You're walking to a person to read for 10 minutes, then walking to another person to read for 10 more minutes. 2 hours later, you do a dungeon. 2 more hours of that.
The story is part of the game.
Yeah, why not just make it a book if it's just going to be nothing but... Sorry.
Because then we'd be sitting here and you'd be complaining, why is all the narrative outside of the game? Wah, 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 wah.
No, I genuinely... That's not my point. If it's going to be like that, make it a book. But don't make it like that. Just voice act it and give me something to do between the quests. Just make it more interesting. Sorry, the story is super interesting, but just give me more gameplay. I get so bored.
I find it more interesting going to the story than having to kill 12 of something for no reason.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying just give me... I'm not saying that. It's to give my finger something to do besides click next.
Now, I will say that a lot of the quests that they put into Endwalker, I like them. Like, they're kind of varied. They're not your typical... I mean, you've still got your typical, oh, kill some of these things. But they've got some interesting quests in there. And the solo duties that they put in are awesome. Like, there's one... Man, I can't talk to you about any of this stuff.
Well, listen, I mean...
both my least favorite... It's my least favorite solo duty that I've ever done. I hated doing it from a gameplay standpoint. but from the narrative standpoint and like what happens, it's amazing and it's one of the best.
Well, I mean, I could be completely, again, I'll say it again, I could be completely wrong, but from the 2 hours I've played, it's just the same, and I just don't have the attention span for it at all.
It gets more varied.
The story
they got
is
different kinds of stuff in there.
I
don't understand how you could like Shadowbringers and not be completely sucked into.
This is literally a completely new thing for me. Like, I didn't feel this way that much in Shadowbringers. Like,
Wow.
my gaming opinion has changed. Like,
Yeah.
I'm realizing how bored I actually am sometimes playing 14.
Shush.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You can't say that in my presence.
I'm the controversial one, but it just started occurring to me.
We don't need a controversial one.
It occurred to me on stream. I was like, I'm just not having fun right now at all. Like, in the slightest. I mean, the story is interesting, but
no, the story's amazing.
More
than interesting.
I was just like, I'm not having fun. I
wish you could at least
playing a game.
Like the second half because it's so
gonna beat it,
good.
But maybe when I'm not
when
I don't know, a year from now,
when
maybe
7.0 comes out.
Probably. It's just
Anyway.
not my cup of tea anymore.
Well, speaking of things that aren't your cup of tea, Final Fantasy. So what do you got planned for Final February here, man?
8. And it's probably not even gonna finish it in February. Not gonna be able to stream nearly as much as I did last year. Not anywhere near.
Plan, then.
I have trips planned on weekends. I work every day. I do podcasts now.
You should quit. Just quit your job.
Oh, that's true. Just for the month.
We make enough money from this to support you, right?
I mean, I don't know if Colonel gets back in chat, maybe. But but seriously, like, I was looking more forward to 8 until here recently, and that has nothing to do with my philosophy. I will be honest, this is already a weird episode and not very Final Fantasy, because we've not kept up with the news, and he hasn't thought about the MOBA episode idea, so we're just kind of here shooting to the wind. But
I have things to talk about.
I am just not in the headspace to play games. Like, even
you should read a book.
I was playing Legends Arceus before this, but I only played for like 30 minutes before I was like, I just don't want to. I don't know. I was like, I'll rather watch a YouTube video and I finished reading Bleach. Like, I picked up where the anime left off, and I read over like 150, 200 chapters of Bleach and finished it. And that's been my hobby, and it's been great, and I think it's something I'm really interested in now. But
that's it. You're in a book hole. That's why you feel weird. You've just never been in a book hole before.
Is it a book hole though? If it's pretty much just a comic.
A comic book, right?
It's a book. Well, a manga. It's
still a book. That's what's wrong with you. This is your first book hole.
I don't know,
welcome to the party.
I don't have anything to read. I ended it. I'm depressed because I can't read it anymore.
You know what's something really good you could read is the Endwalker MSQ.
Listen, there's another big hurdle there for me too. There's another big hurdle. When I read, I'm like laying on my couch.
You got a laptop, don't you?
I'm not playing an MMO on a laptop on a couch. Not doing it. I'm not playing 14 on PS4 anymore. First of all, I'd have to buy Endwalker again for a game that runs at half the frame rate. Which
you just said all you're doing is reading. What's the frame rate matter?
Okay, dude, the game makes me want to vomit on PS4 after playing it on PC.
You just said all you do is run from point A to point B.
You're still running, though.
Squint your eyes.
Buy me a PS5. My point was buy me a PS5, and I would be playing at least 10 minutes of it a day. I would be playing at least 10 minutes a day. And I don't know, maybe I'll fall down a hole where I'm like, oh, I want to read this so bad. I want to play. But if I'm sitting at this desk reading, I'm like, I'm already sitting here. My back hurts. I'd rather be playing a game, editing, or just walking
edit at the
away.
Same seat, though?
Yeah. So
you're giving me a lot of mixed signals here tonight.
No, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If I'm gonna be sitting here, I'd rather be editing or playing a game. That's what I'm saying. But when I'm playing 14, I don't feel like I'm playing a game, which is controversial. Every one of the listeners is going to disagree with me, but I feel strongly about it. I don't feel like I'm playing a game when I play that game.
There's all
Now,
sorts of stuff to be doing. It's literally just the MSQ that's like that. There's
yeah,
like a
I
million other things in
know,
that game
but
you
the
can be doing.
game pushes you. The game's biggest appeal is the MSQ. So when I play it, I feel like I need to do the MSQ. It's what I need to be doing. And then I do it, and I'm like, I want to gouge my eyes out because I'm bored.
Okay, I don't see how you could look at Endwalker and say I'm bored. It was literally written for you.
I'm
All
not
it does
at
is
the
callback.
I'm not at the interesting stuff yet, though. I'm at the elephant people, and it's like
those were pretty interesting too. I mean, have you done the first dungeon yet?
No, I can't make it. I keep getting
dude.
bored.
Well, just stop reading and just get through it. If you just listen to the voice acted scenes, you would understand enough.
Don't tell me that, because that's exactly what I'm going to end up doing.
It's the wrong way to do it, and it's not a good way to do it. But if you're really that anti-reading, if you just listen to the cutscenes that are voice acted, you would at least understand what's going on.
It's such a stupid take, and it's such a stupid way to think. But man, I can't help that I feel so strongly about it. I can't help it. Like I
strongly about this.
I vehemently despise, like, I don't know. I guess it's just where it's not just like in 7, 8, and 9 of speech bubble pop up. At most, you're getting like 2 sentences out of them. It's easy to read like a sentence. That's why manga's not that hard. It's just like a sentence, a sentence. 14 will drop like a paragraph on you full of half of words that I can't even fathom what they mean.
Only Urianger talked weird.
Some people talk weird, but I don't even try reading him anymore. I skip him. But
I love him. I've played Final Fantasy 14 so much that I just understand him now. When it first started, I couldn't, like, everything seemed so confusing. But now in Endwalker, I actually thought to myself, did they make him easier to understand, or am I just speaking Urianger now? Like, do I just get it?
I think you just get it, because every time he talks,
has a monologue he has a monologue, and it's voice acted, but he speaks for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, every time he speaks, I'm just like, what are you saying?
Yeah, you'll just tune out that whole thing.
For some reason, my Audacity stopped recording.
Well, that's awesome.
Well, we can just use this audio file, I guess.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna keep recording mine anyway.
I don't know why mine stopped.
When did it stop? Do you know?
Looks like at around 8.5 minutes.
That long ago? Wow.
Yeah,
you hit something. You must have hit a hotkey or something.
I don't know.
Anyway, well, this one, at least it's going to be on YouTube. Maybe we'll end up skipping the podcast episode this week and just say,
maybe. It's just YouTube special.
Go do
it. Actually, let's do that. Let's get this. Let's get my awful opinions from spreading too far.
YouTube special. I'll put out just a short one and say, hey, look, we had a lot of audio problems, but you can find the live thing on YouTube. We'll be back podcasting next month.
That's
week. Okay, cool. But so you've had enough hot takes. I want to get on my hot takes now. Okay?
I think 14's great. Please don't hate me. I do.
Oh, I do. I mean, I hate you anyway.
I know.
But so I'm on a little bit of a 14 break myself right now, but I have gotten back into Final Fantasy 2. I hadn't played that in a while because, like you said, there's so many great things that have come out. And if I wasn't playing Endwalker, I was playing something on my Switch. But I'm really close to beating it, so I was like, I'm just gonna go back to it, and I'm still enjoying it. I just got to spoilers. No, I'm just gonna short spoilers. I just got into the Cyclone, so I think I'm getting pretty close. Now I will say, I did Mysidia Tower, whatever. Good Lord, I cannot imagine having played that back in the day, with no save points. That would have taken hours.
Yeah.
Hours. I mean, it even took me probably an hour of game time, and I had a map, so I avoid all of the trap doors because that's the dumbest mechanic I've ever seen. I hate that.
Yeah.
The doors that just go nowhere, I hate that.
Yeah, it's stupid.
So I look up a map and just avoid those, and still that thing had like 10 floors, and it took forever, and there's no save points, and you get to the top, and you're like running on fumes because you're running out of MP because you feel the need to continuously use magic all the time.
It's weird, man.
I cannot imagine having done that dungeon back on the NES. Like, I wouldn't have done it. I don't think I could have made it.
I don't think I could have either, man. Like, it is just. I mean,
quick save is amazing, and no save points means no tent or cottage in the middle of the dungeon either. So, woo.
And then the encounter rate too.
Yeah. So the encounter rate is higher. I have started to notice it, but I also kill things so fast it's not bugging me as much as I thought it would. But it can get annoying. It
gets. Talk about a boring game. Like those long. I don't find it boring. Those long dungeons and the battles are so easy. It's like, what's the point of even having a battle if I just hit auto battle and watch it happen? It's come on.
Dude, that literally describes all of the Pixel remasters so far. I mean, that's how I've played all of them.
Yeah, it's just especially annoying with 2 because its encounter rate is so laughably higher than the others. At least with the others, I'm out of the dungeon relatively quick. In 2, though, it's like it's an hour and a half. I'm in the same last dungeon. Every battle's been auto battle. It's like,
well, the problem too is the battles will be against like 8 things.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, good lord. So
yeah,
even if you're auto hitting, but I do like that most of your characters are attacking twice if you give them 2 weapons. But so I'm getting close to that, and then that'll check off another one, and then 3's next probably, and then we've got Final Fantasy VI coming out at some point this month, they say. Now, take this with a grain of salt because it's literally just rumors and conjecture. Nothing's been announced, but we do have that Nintendo Direct tomorrow, and of course, Final Fantasy Twitter is all excited because they think that we're going to get announcements of the Pixel remasters on Switch, and we might, but at this point, I honestly don't care anymore. Like, it's too late. Like, I've already played 4 of them on my phone.
So you wouldn't get 6 on Switch instead if it was announced?
Nope, not at this point. It doesn't make sense. Because then what am I going to play 5 of them on my phone and 1 on the Switch? Nah, I'll just stick with what I got.
Okay.
Because they just waited too long. Like, and
I would probably get it on I'd probably get it on Switch instead of PC.
Well, given the choice between those 2, yeah. But I've already got a folder on my phone. And at this point, I'm not going to have 5 and then 6 somewhere else. So it's like, nah.
Yeah. I don't think it'll happen, though.
Twice. I'm not buying them twice for no trophies.
So. I would curve everyone to curve your expectations. I don't think it's going to happen.
Oh, I don't either. I mean, I'm not saying, but it's been something that everybody's been talking about and excited about. But
we might get some gameplay trailer for Chocobo GP, but that might be the extent of...
That's not up for pre-order yet. I tried to pre-order it the other day.
It might get delayed.
Oh, Lord. Now, if pre-orders go up tomorrow, that I would be excited about, because I do want to pre-order that game.
Yeah, I could see that happening. But
oh, my God. Speaking of pre-orders, stop the presses, because this game's not available for pre-order yet either, which makes me mad. They have already announced a sequel to Voice of Cards, and it comes out next week.
What?
Right? I am so excited.
How the heck did they do such a quick turnaround on that?
They probably were working on them both at once. I'm hoping this means they did like a trilogy or something all at once. Now, here's what I'm saying. Let's take 14 out of the equation. Voice of Cards, The Isle Dragon Roars was literally my favorite game of 2021. I loved that game so much.
What was my favorite game of 2021? I can't even remember what came out last year.
Nothing compared to that for me. I loved that game that much.
I can't even. I mean, I liked the new Pokemon Diamond game, but I can't remember.
But yeah, so that's another Square Enix product, another turn-based JRPG, and that will be coming out February 17th. The Final Fantasy adjacent. I did do a solo review episode of the first one. And I will probably do a solo review episode of the second one because I'm going to platinum it as well, unless they made the platinum very, very, very difficult.
And I will not be playing it.
I was so excited. Dude, it's so good. It is so good. And the whole thing's voice acted.
It doesn't look like my kind of game. I respect it, but it doesn't look like anything.
It's just an RPG.
Yeah, but
it's just the cards are just for flavor. Like, the combat isn't randomized. It's just an RPG. But it is good.
It looks good.
And the story was really good too. The story had moments in it that shocked me. I hadn't been shocked in a little bit, but it was good. Anyway,
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I've been into. It's been a weird week, man.
Well, I'm about to be. And this is gonna be a weird Final February though, because it's not even gonna only be Final Fantasy, because there's just too much stuff that comes out this month.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be Final February until like the end of February. Then it's switching over because I'm streaming Elden Ring. Like I'm not doing that. So I haven't been excited for a game like that in a long time.
That's how I am with Voice of Cards.
I'm over the moon for that game. So
I know. I
think
know the feeling.
I think I kind of blame Dark Souls for how I view reading in games now that I think about it. Because that game's story is all voice acted and takes a backseat to the gameplay, which I never thought I would. I still don't think I prefer that, but I never thought I would enjoy it that much. Like I found myself.
On the type of game.
I found myself.
Like,
oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I found myself this weekend playing Demon's Souls for the first time and skipping cutscenes because I was like, I don't own this game. I just want to play it, and I skipped the intro. I just wanted to play it, and I was like, this is
the intro?
So unlike me.
Who are you?
Man,
who does that?
I just wanted to play.
It depends on the type of game for me. Like a platformer, I don't care if it has a weak story. Like Banjo-Kazooie, I don't need a deep story for something like that.
Absolutely.
But a game, if it has any kind of like character building or something like that, or character progression, I feel like it needs a story.
Oh, I mean, I love stories in games. I'm not saying that. I just think there needs to be a good balance. And I never realized how important gameplay was to me until Dark Souls literally ruined me, I could say. Love that game.
I know. You won't shut up about it.
Very good. You would hate it. It's very good, though.
Probably.
So good.
Probably. Because it's funny, because there are times in games where I've been like, God, I've been just playing forever. I would love a cutscene right now.
I'm the opposite right now. It's like when 14 says, prepare yourself, there's a long thing of cutscenes coming ahead. I'm like,
go get a drink, and I'm excited. I'm like, do I have time? Yes. And then I just kick back. Those are my favorite. When it says, please make sure you've set aside enough time, I'm like, oh, this is about
that's
to be
usually
good.
Where I take that, and that's usually where I take my breaks. That and right after dungeons.
Well, now I will take a break there if I don't think I have enough time. But that whenever I see that, you also know, because they never do that unless something major is about to happen.
Yeah, I mean, that's
so cool. You also know when you see that you're getting to something good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. This has turned into a weird episode about gaming in general, and with a large focus on 14 and other games. But I can't really describe my opinion on games because I haven't thought about it enough yet to like refine it and like really know how I feel about gaming now and how I want to.
I don't game anymore. All I do is watch anime and talk about that.
I don't know how I want to consume games. I mean, Final Fantasy is part of my life. I'll play it no matter. I'll replay
NFTs, right? That's how you want to consume
games.
That's
right. Like 9's dialogue will never bother me because I'm pretty sure at this point I have it all memorized. So, and like the old Final Fantasy games dialogue doesn't bother me because I have it all memorized.
But they're also bad.
And they're all bad too. That's another thing.
Fantasy.
It's
but
like
playing some of these pixel remasters, I'm like,
the stories aren't good. They're just
who wrote that?
generic. But like
bad translation probably. Or
yeah. So I don't know. I definitely I don't know. It's the same thing. Like the only exception I really give to the no voice acting thing anymore is Mario, because at this point Mario's.
I don't need Kirby to talk either.
Oh, never Kirby too. Like Mario and Kirby.
Like Nintendo.
I think Link needs to speak. That's one thing I think.
It's been too long.
Well, freaking Breath of the Wild had full voice acting. Zelda's voice actress was amazing. And then Link was just there staring cold-faced at everybody. And I thought, okay, you took the huge leap. It was awesome. Now give Link a voice. Just do it. Just
it's the thing. It's been too long.
Well, I don't just do it. Innovate. But like Kirby and Mario, those are such gameplay focused games that like
that's what I was talking about, platformers and
like
stuff.
Banjo-Kazooie, I don't mind to read dialogue because it's again a sentence and it's and it's just like I don't care. That's funny, and they're not saying anything important.
So if 14, if someone just burped the whole time while you were reading,
They're
you'd
not
be
saying
okay with it?
anything important in those games. That's the thing. They're saying a lot of important stuff in 14.
Until you talk to that good witch who tells you all sorts of stuff you need for that trivia at the end.
Which is my least favorite part of Banjo-Kazooie. That's my least favorite part.
The most random episode.
You know what's so
you
bad?
can tell we got frazzled with the
It's
the technical
fine.
difficulty.
It's a YouTube special.
I think you're right. This should be a YouTube special. It'll be 2 weeks off from the podcast, which is okay. I will record like a short thing just to put up and explain what happened, but this one should be a YouTube special. Because like you said, you're going to rip the audio and it's going to sound weird anyway. And
yeah.
So.
But
so since we're doing YouTube special, I'll pull in props. Look how big this dice is. Isn't that huge?
Ooh, look how big this dog is.
I can't see you, remember?
Hang on. I'm going to show them.
I can't see you, remember?
I'm going to show them.
Well, that's not...
Buddy.
Now I just feel left out.
You're going to have to... I'm not doing it again. He's going to hurt himself. You've got to stop. He just tried to jump, like, hit the chair.
Made this like a drinking game.
He did a barrel roll. He landed on his back and did a barrel roll on the floor. You've got to go. You're going to hurt yourself, bub. Go.
Man.
Go.
Well, listen. This has gone so far off the rails.
It's fine. I mean, we kind of had a topic today about dialogue. So my final thing is,
we kind of did stumble into that, I guess.
I just think it is more enjoyable to have voice acting. That medium missing from so many things for me nowadays is just so like new Pokemon Snap had a few voice acted cutscenes, which were
really
they lasted. They're very short, but they were awesome. They were. I
must have not gotten very far into that. I don't remember that at all.
That was at the beginning, dude.
Someone talked?
Yeah, they talk a little bit. I mean, it's literally 90% dialogue you read.
I don't remember that at all.
But it's like, that's so nice. And I get it.
I prefer, if the game is on Switch or mobile, I don't need voice acting. But half the time I've got that turned down.
What's it going to hurt, though, if it's the exact same thing, but they just read it like in 14? I mean, what's that going to hurt?
Because if there's voice acting, I feel the need to listen to it.
Okay. Now you're at the same... No.
I mean, no, that's it. If it's voice acting, I feel the need to turn it up to where I can hear the voice acting. So, like, if they don't have voice acting, I don't care to leave it turned down. That's what I'm saying. So I don't feel like I'm missing anything if I'm playing it on a bus or something. Not that I ride the bus that often. But, like, if I'm playing it where I need to have it no volume, I don't feel like I'm... Like, Octopath Traveler, I always try to leave just a little bit up so I can hear it when they talk.
That game's music is beautiful.
Yeah, I usually do at least turn it up to make sure I hear the music, and that's the thing I do with the Pixel remasters. Every new dungeon, I'm like, okay, I got the song.
I just think it's just logical, and I don't know why it's so far into gaming and not every game's doing it.
I literally have already told you.
I mean, that's
you know
not. I don't want to just say
higher voice actors.
I just want to say, okay, that's
I'm
fine.
serious.
It's still BS though. Like, just quit being so stingy, people. And it's funny when games do that, and it's like they're cutting corners. It's like, okay, Pokemon Legends Arceus cut corners. The game objectively runs like poop sometimes. I just did the final Lord fight.
Another corner they got.
I just did the last Lord fight, and it dropped to like 10 frames a second, and it got me killed because I couldn't react. It literally was like online lag, and I'm like, how many corners did you... Fun game, don't get me wrong, I love it. But man, quit cutting corners.
I've never heard you say, I love this game, when you haven't just got done crapping on it. Every time you say, I love this game, it immediately comes after a huge rant about it.
I don't have a single game
Except
I can't rant about. Oh, I can.
9's the only one you
I
don't
love that game, but
about.
I can still rant about one part of 9 that I think is stupid.
It's just that stupid.
It's awful and it's annoying and it gives me anxiety. I literally, in one of my playthroughs, stopped for like 2 weeks at that part.
You know, when I got there in my playthrough, it wasn't as bad as I remembered it being.
It's not really that bad. It's just
I had built it up in my head a lot worse.
My anxiety is awful, and that part kills me.
Yeah, I don't like anytime the timer pops up on the screen. I'm like, oh no, why? Why are you timing me in an RPG? Yeah, that's one of the reasons I hated that that one instance I keep talking about in 14. It times you, and I'm like, oh no. Please don't do this to me.
I hate timers in any games. That doesn't have to be an RPG. They freak me out. And I know
normally they give you more than enough time. They almost always give you enough time. Say what?
7 starts with 1.
I know, I hate that. I
Especially
hate escaping.
in the remake, I thought they were going to start the timer before the boss fight, which would have been virtually impossible because that boss fight takes for freaking ever.
Yeah. Well, can't you... You set the timer before the boss fight in the original, right?
Yeah. But I don't think... I don't know when it goes off, though.
But you can... Can't you adjust how long you set it for? Don't you get to pick?
Yeah.
10, 20, or 30 minutes or something like that?
Yeah, picking 30 minutes for that's crazy.
I always pick 30 minutes. You don't get any bonuses for doing it fast, do you?
I always assumed you did. I don't remember, though. I don't know what the point of giving an option would be if you didn't. It's just kind of like at the beginning of 9.
Like to challenge themselves.
It's like at the beginning of 9 where you can keep sword fighting for the nobles and you can get a moon piece for it. Yeah,
there is. I don't think there's anything you get for doing it.
I don't know.
I know there's an 8. So here's I'm gonna give you a little piece of advice for Final Fantasy VIII. The first thing you do, you go to the fire cavern. You got to get Ifrit. Your seed score is gonna be based on how much time is left when you beat him, and you want to have as little time as possible left. Okay. So what you do, because the highest score you get if it's like 7 seconds left. If the timer runs out, though, it's game over. Here's the trick, though. The timer will continue to count down in the results screen, like after you beat the boss, but you can't game over at that point. So set it for the short amount of time, kill the boss around 2 minutes or whatever, and then just set like a little timer, let the time run out, and then finish it.
What do you get?
The perfect score. Well, the seed score, once you do that and you do the mission at Dale, you get a seed rank, your starting rank, and that determines your salary, which is how you get gil throughout the game.
Oh, okay. I remember that. Yeah. I remember that now. Well, that starts tomorrow after the Nintendo Direct.
Just telling you that made me want to go play Final Fantasy VIII. Look at my Squall and Renoa pillow back there.
Yeah, I got you that.
Yeah, and then Squall and Renoa are way up there, too.
They're everywhere.
They're in my heart.
Oh, man. I'm just out of it. I don't know. I'm out of it today.
Well, maybe we should bring this one to a close.
I think that might be a good idea.
Go do something else. Since we're obviously not doing this very well tonight.
I think that might be a good idea. Hey, I think these are the good. This will be fun.
This will be fun. This was fun.
I don't even know what to call this.
Yeah, we'll think of something.
Speak to me.
I'll see if Craig did anything. The dude's still hanging out in here. It's just, I don't know. He doesn't seem to be doing anything, but I can check. So. Anyway, man, I'm not even going to ask where we can find you.
That's not even important.
It's on the YouTube.
Yeah,
but I will say, we have a podcast. This is normally it, but it's just not this week. But yeah, you can follow us at Highwind Herald for more information about that on Twitter. So that's all you're getting this week. That's it.
No, we'll be back with the shout outs. No spiels. No shout outs. Just 2 depressed dudes telling you, hey.
I'm not depressed. I just had a stressful week.
1 depressed dude just saying, hey, man, we'll see you next week. I guess.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
I don't want you to be depressed.
When I get a weekend.
You get to start Final Fantasy VIII tomorrow. There's not a happier... This is one of the best days. The day before you start Final Fantasy VIII is one of the best days you're ever going to have.
Better than the day you started?
It's like Christmas Eve. Yeah, you know how like Christmas Eve is great, and then Christmas Day comes, but like it's just all the anticipation, the build-up is really where the magic of Christmas is.
Not this year. This year was weird. Oh, man. Normally, I get what you say. Well, you know, I'll play it with an open mind. I'll try my best to enjoy it. I will still have criticisms because I don't think there is a single game that is void of my negative, cynical eye anymore. But I will hopefully, I will hopefully like the game. I will. It will hopefully be a. Will it be a top 5 game? I'm predicting no, but I think it will be good. Hopefully.
We'll see. It should be top 1. That's where it belongs.
I don't know.
I had to reshuffle my list. Final Fantasy 14 is now number 2. It beat out Final Fantasy 7.
It'll be number 1 before you know it.
You know what else you should do? You should get Intergrade.
Oh, it's on PC now, isn't it?
Yeah, you should do that.
Oh, that is actually like the perfect kind of Final Fantasy game I'd love to. Maybe I'll stream that instead for Final February. That'd be like last year. Good idea.
Boy, you should do that. I mean, it's short though. It's not like a full game.
I'll make it long.
No.
Anyway,
man.
We're rambling.
Bye.
See you later.